Hello, vinyl community. How you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. The charmingly whimsical vinyl tag. That's what I'm here to do. Alan over at the great channel Static Traveler thought we needed another vinyl tag. This is the charmingly whimsical vinyl tag. So these 10 questions all have to do with fantasy and whimsical stuff like that. So Alan came up with the 10 questions all around that, and I'm going to get started. So question number 1, show a record with something related to dreams. How about Jade Warriors' third album, Last Autumn's Dream. Some great prog rock here. So pretty dreamlike album cover here, plus the title Last Autumn's Dream. This is on Vertigo. Great album from 1973, Jade Warriors' third album. So that's question number 1. Question number 2, show a record with sweets, cakes, desserts on the cover. So this is the one I had a lot of trouble with. Other than the Rolling Stones' Let It Bleed, which I didn't want to show because I wanted to keep this to kind of like fantasy and whimsical related stuff. Hopefully this is what I think it is, but this is King Crimson's The Young Person's Guide to King Crimson. And in this cover image, this little gentleman here has a lollipop. So that qualifies as a sweet, I think. Question number 3. Show a fantastical item of transport. Spaceships, trains, submarines, etc. So, John Anderson, his first solo album, Elias of Sun Hello. Here is the Morglade Mover. Fictional story for this album, and the Morglade Mover was utilized to transport people from a dying planet. So terrific album by John Anderson, Elias of Sun Hello, and the Morglade Mover. Okay, number 4, show a record with a fantasy world cover. So, just mentioned John Anderson, and here is his group Yes. And this is their 1973 album, Yes Songs, triple live album. And great fantasy artwork from Roger Dean. So that's a cool shot there. Same image here, but without the girl. So cool fantasy world. There's also some other imagery here, as well as so Yes Songs by Yes. Okay, number 5, show a record to do with outer space. This is Night Flights, and their album Night Flights Volume 1. This is from 2015, electronic and ambient, very ambient, but the imagery is definitely outer space. Really cool album. This was gifted to me from Carm over at his channel, Gorvo31. Very generous of him. Really, really great ambient album. This is on Agitated Records, and it's kind of a yellow translucent vinyl here. Okay, so halfway done. Number 6. This was the question that gave me the toughest part of this tag, but I'm going to switch it up. The question, or the number 6, is show a TV show record, preferably a whimsical fantasy program. So I'm going to switch it up from television to radio, and the War of the Worlds, originally broadcast on radio with narration by Orson Welles, where people thought it was a real attack on the world. But this is Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds from 1978. Yeah, 1978. Pretty cool album here. Somewhat prog rock, but it's got narration. On here you have Richard Burton, Julie Covington, David Essex, Justin Hayward, Phil Lynott, Joe Partridge, and Chris Thompson. They are the credits on this album. So pretty cool. Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds. Number 7, show a record with a cartoon cover or a cartoon somewhere on it. So from 1968, The Mothers of Invention, Reuben and the Jets. This is the Mothers of Invention kind of doing doo-wop. So Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Definitely cartoon there. Okay, number 8. Show a record related to childhood, books, play, etc. Here's a cool one from 1975. The prog rock version of Peter and the Wolf. So Peter and the Wolf, kind of a orchestral fairy tale, I guess, or story for children. Initially done by or created by Sergei Prokofiev, where each instrument pertains to a certain character in the story. And this is no different, except it is a prog rock version, or rock version. And just quite the lineup of musicians on this album. Starting with, it was put together by Robin Lumley from Brand X and Jack Lancaster of Bloodwind Pig. But also on here you have narrator Viv Stanshaw, who I'm not familiar with, but then you have Manfred Mann, Gary Brooker, Chris Spedding, Gary Moore, Stefan Grappelli, Brian Eno, Keith Tippett, John Heisman, Bill Bruford, Cozy Powell, Phil Collins, Alvin Lee, Julie Tippett, and the English Chorale. So quite interesting. But again, the instruments kind of line up with the characters, and it's all mapped out here in the notes here, where it says what instruments pertain to each character. So that is very cool. But also, for this question, I also thought we'd go with Alice in Wonderland and the, not Genesis Wind and Wuthering, but the famous Charisma label there with the Mad Hatter, Cheshire Cat, and such on the Charisma label. So the Mad Hatter label pertaining to Alice in Wonderland. Okay, number 9. Show a record with angels, fairies, nymphs, creatures of folklore, etc. So from 1980, Eloy's Colors with a fairy on the cover. But really cool artwork from Eloy. And I thought I'd also show Froop's Future Legends. Killer artwork on this. Has a unicorn on the cover here. So very fantasy Like, tremendous album. I love this so much. Really great prog rock out of Ireland. Froop. Future Legends. Number 10. Final question. Show a record whimsically related to death and or one with something grotesque on the cover. Well, pertaining to death, from 1975. Yeah, 1975. Vangelis, Heaven and Hell. So here you kind of have hell on the cover, so the fire, and here you have blue, I guess, representing heaven. So Alan, there you go, the charmingly whimsical vinyl tag. Thanks so much for putting this together. A lot of fun. I've seen that a lot of people have been jumping on board with this, so that's very cool. Thank you for putting this together. A lot of fun. So anyone who doesn't know Alan, Static Traveler, the link is down below. I highly recommend you check him out. You will be entertained, especially with his puppet friends, Penge and Derek. So thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you all are doing well. I will be back again soon with another video. Take care. Bye-bye.